The Po' Boy Pundits podcast is brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. Pulpery Media presents Po' Boy Pundits with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the political headlines that grab our attention and all those little jerks that infuriate us.
There's a gigantic fire on Magazine.
Yeah.
That I've been watching from...
By them? You mean the protesters?
By they, them. I'm kidding. The protesters.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're out there. I see them every morning, too. I honked through the horns.
Good on them. Good on them for sticking with it.
Fucking right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I let them know that, so...
Yeah, you would think, we did, or at least I know I did. I was, when this all started, and I'm like, what are y'all going to do? Da, da, da. But,
their contract ran out.
They proved to be right, though.
Correct.
Like what we...
And here, it's going to suck if this lasts a long time.
Yeah.
But good on them. Stay out there as long as it fucking takes.
Yeah. But it's weird because I think it's scary that it's taken nearly a year for the world to really understand Netanyahu is fucking bananas.
Yes. No, he most certainly is.
And or did you see that segment Jon Stewart did? I don't think it was. I think it was last Monday, but he was talking about how at least here in the States the I don't want to give it a name because it'll make me sound unintendedly worse than what I think. But when you criticize Netanyahu, people are like, "How dare you criticize the Israeli people?" And then he showed a clip of Israeli politicians reaming Netanyahu and going they don't like him either.
No,
the former prime minister who Netanyahu took over. Is going this guy's a warmonger.
At this point, the people are too.
Right.
So, we can talk about World War III?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what we're building up to, right?
Okay. Well, I was talking about the longshoremen, but it's fine.
Oh, no. We're going to get to that.
I don't care one way or another.
Yeah.
So, yes.
No, we're
going
off our list.
Yeah.
But that makes sense. I see where you were going earlier.
Yes.
I thought you meant there were still college protesters.
Yeah. No.
Oh, you took Tchoupitoulas. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
We will get to that.
So, yes.
Oh, trust me. We're going to get to a union strike. Please.
So now this motherfucker is fighting Iran.
Yeah.
And marching troops into Lebanon.
Yeah, so he's fighting,
on 3 fronts at this point?
Yeah. So he's in they're in a long distance rocket war with Iran.
Yeah, but now I think Netanyahu was like, okay, this is about to get personal.
Yeah, and so now Lebanon is caught in the crosshairs.
Lebanon is.
Yeah.
Right, because they got troops marching. Here, I think I just saw BlackRock was controlling everything.
But yeah, going back to what we were saying before is that, Netanyahu's promise is that he will hold elections once this conflict is resolved.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time.
But he keeps escalating and escalating and escalating.
And we keep asking what the line is. At some point, somebody's going to have to grab him. Because now he's threatening to bomb oil fields.
Yeah.
Someone's going to have to stop him.
Right. Which is
where's BlackRock and George Soros? Why can't they control the weather and make him go away?
Yeah. They should just make a hurricane in the Mediterranean.
To sweep him away.
Right, yeah.
Because all of this would end in a heartbeat.
So I mean, realistically, if we trace this back, first we thought the line was, okay, once he clears out half of Gaza,
right?
That should be enough.
Take out the heads of them,
and then he decides, okay, we're
Didn't it all start like almost a year ago?
Yeah.
It's been 2 years ago.
No, 1 year ago.
Okay, like October 7th, right?
2 years is Ukraine, I think.
Oh, okay, then, yeah. All right. So October 7th,
Yeah.
which is also happens to be this year like the holiest of holy. It's like 4th of July
is
and
that
New
the-
Year's and
Is it the start of Yom Kippur, I think?
yeah, it's
Is that
like
what
the
it is?
day
Yeah,
before,
yeah,
like
yeah.
their New Year, but it's yeah.
Oh, God, he's going to milk that thing like a goat's teeth.
Yep. Was it the Wall Street Journal that they brought that up?
Yeah.
And it's like
Motherfucker.
fucker.
Well, and also, I mean, they always celebrate the Yom Kippur War, which is one of their biggest.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
fuck.
one of the biggest
Good
holy.
God.
I hate to call it holy day,
but it's also well, I mean, it's
holiday like,
mixed with like nationalism and shit like that. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
Right, it's like the Catholics partying for Mardi Gras before they give up stuff.
Yeah, but if we also commemorated like a war,
Right.
like if we celebrated the end of the Reformation.
I mean, we celebrate everything here. Anyway, so this just sets up to be a powder keg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, usually that would be used in if there was like a bunch of shit building, but this is
you think it's already blown?
yeah, and that this is more like
It could get so much worse.
well, I think what it's exposing is the U.S. and NATO really kind of just giving carte blanche to
Right.
the Israeli government. And
At what point do Iran's, I don't know what you want to call them, allies, try to jump in? Who are their allies?
Well,
Russia,
China.
more so than Russia.
Well, no, I mean Russia's the main backer.
So that's
but,
the axis of evil.
yeah, but you go
Why doesn't Egypt just like lob something in there and be like, no?
because they're not trying to upset. I mean, when was the Camp David Accords? I mean, that was like back in like 79, 80. I mean, they've been at peace. And actually, I think the Yom Kippur War was the Egyptian Israeli war. I'd have to double check on that. But, they're not wanting to upset the apple cart that much. But again, like you said, if they're going to start bombing oil fields and then they're
Right.
starting to mess with the oil, like
Then you're talking
oil
about
money,
global
family, yeah,
economy.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, if it starts upsetting oil supply
Then
into
you
Europe,
really think gas prices are high? Fuck.
but I mean, first to feel that would be Europe, and then they're going to. So then
Then
that could
NATO's
get
going to
NATO
be like,
to. I mean, and you already got France and Germany are already trying to step in and be like, hey,
they've tried.
come
France
on.
has been trying.
Yeah. But that's also too why I mean, both of them are going through electoral upheavals, so
Correct. And immigration apparently over there too.
yeah. But it's also giving rise to other countries, same as the war in Ukraine. Like Poland's getting a little more cachet now,
Yeah.
but as soon as these other countries that we don't think of normally as like powerhouses in NATO eventually will speak up and go, okay,
Look at the map again.
we have to give an ultimatum to Netanyahu, and then at that point, I would figure the peaceful way would be is that if somehow the Israeli parliament can activate an election,
Yeah, but that's not going to happen.
and then you use NATO forces as peacekeeping forces to allow the election to go through. But then the real question at that point would be, is the Israeli military going to follow the direction of
Correct.
the new prime minister?
That's what I've been asking.
Are they going to Are they going to do a coup and
because
keep
that's
Netanyahu in
whoever
power?
controls the military,
Yeah,
just as Napoleon, controls the country
right.
or continent.
And say what you will about
So Egypt's there.
our system of government, but when you have a multi-party system to where you have to do, find consensus and build a government as you do in a parliamentary style.
Right.
It doesn't happen all the time, but it does. There's always a door open for something like this to where somebody can retain power and hold off elections.
Because they're in a wartime. That's what they were trying to get Trump to do with COVID, was like enact wartime, whatever they call it.
Yeah. But but that would have been the equivalent here of like declaring martial law. Right. Which, of course, is going to piss off every single state.
Well, that's what he wanted to do. I mean, that's what people were trying to get him to do.
Yeah, I mean, like, that bald fucker who's, one of
Stephen Miller?
Yeah. Fuck that guy. But the problem is that here in the United States, what that means is that you effectively, every governor becomes your puppet.
Right, because
and
the governor has to have their
National Guard and everything
or whatever.
Do that.
Right.
And whether you support Trump or not, as a governor, not everybody's willing to go, oh, now I'm meaningless.
Right.
And
I'm like the vice president at this point.
Which is, it's you essentially wipe away federalism.
And he controls the military.
Right. And that's and bringing it back to,
which is what Netanyahu
is like, but that's what makes it even scarier, in that people forget that.
Is he going to turn? He can't turn heel, though. Like, we are absolutely allies.
Yeah, but I mean, he's like like the fucking like bratty middle child or something. Like, but in this case though too, it's like what you brought up that I find like really scary is that people do forget Israel is a theocracy, and that it's a religiously run.
Right.
Now,
they
granted,
still have a parliament.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be independent.
Parliament can call elections,
but
and they make law.
And I don't think that they've changed it since. It's like, but the only way that you can be an elected official in the Israeli parliament is if you are Jewish. So it is. So then,
I mean, that makes sense. Yes.
So then you tie that together with you're in this now growing conflict, that is now going to then coincide with not only a religious holiday, the biggest religious holiday in the Jewish calendar, Hebrew calendar, and then also coinciding with historical military wins. That's a fucking scary combination.
That is whoever the fuck is running Hezbollah, and I guess the Iranian government has been lobbing bombs, right?
Yeah.
That's their government saying, fuck you.
Yeah, but we didn't double check on that to see is Hezbollah in control in Lebanon, or is it?
I don't know. It would seem like it. I didn't look it up. You're right.
That's what we would hope, right?
Yeah, exactly. If not, they are just taking over.
It's just
so
much of this shit is so similar to our war on terror.
Yes.
And that in the end it was like we played totally into bin Laden's hand of showing that we want to be the world police and we want to control all this shit.
He was like, I just proved my point.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, not that.
But the way
not that it was a good point, but
the way it just seems to slowly be taking land, right?
Right.
Especially if he's
doing exactly what Hezbollah and all the anti-Israeli, factions around there have been saying. It's like, they just move in, take over, and
move everybody out,
and then eventually going like, well, if they can't do it, by legally quotation marks, like they're just going to take it by force. Well, what are they doing now?
Taking it by force.
Right. The following segment has been brought to you by the Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. The Po' Boy Podcast is a production of Pulpery Media, produced and edited by Ben Grimion, marketing by Brock Ryder, graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion, music by the Heisenberg Compensators.